Hi and welcome. Today we're taking a full campus tour of Washburn University, nestled in the heart of Topeka, Kansas. Whether you're a prospective student, parent, or simply curious about college life, we're going to be exploring the campus, the history, and some of the key academic programs that make Washburn unique. Founded in February of 1865, Washburn University began life as Lincoln College, a private congregational school established in the post-Civil War era. Classes began in early 1866 with 38 high school level students and just 2 college students, reflecting the educational needs of the time. In 1868, the school was renamed Washburn College in recognition of a generous pledge by industrialist and abolitionist Ichabod Washburn. Over the years, the institution evolved from its religious school origins into the public university it is today. Our first stop on our tour is the Bradbury Thompson Alumni Center. This building opened in April of 1996. It was named for Bradbury Thompson, a distinguished alumnus of Washburn who became an influential graphic designer and art director. Thompson himself designed the original Ichabod mascot image for Washburn in 1838. The Alumni Center houses key offices and functions for the university, including the Washburn Alumni Association staff and operations, and also includes such things as offices for the vice president, academic affairs, administration, and so on. There's also some great meeting and event spaces inside this building. The White Concert Hall opened in October of 1968 as part of a larger performing arts facility then known as the Performing Arts Center. The building was dedicated in October of 1968. The hall itself is named for Elliott Hill White, whose sister made a significant donation to the Centennial Fund of the university with the condition that the hall bear his name. Inside, there's seating capacity for about 1,200 seats, making it one of the larger halls in the region for music, theater, and community events. The hall's acoustic design is a standout. The shape of the hall, choice of materials, and interior surfaces were all selected with the intention to give high-quality sound for both performers and the audience. Today, White Concert Hall is the primary performance venue for the music and theater departments here at Washburn. The Mulvane Art Museum traces its origin to a gift by Joab Mulvane, a successful railroad executive and philanthropist in Kansas. His pledge in 1922 set the museum in motion. It opened to the public on January 13, 1924, becoming one of the earlier art museums established west of the Mississippi River. The original purpose of the museum was to house, display, and make accessible works of art to students, faculty, and the wider community. Over time, the museum's building itself and infrastructure have evolved. For instance, after a major campus tornado in June of 1966, which impacted much of the campus, the Mulvane's interior was rebuilt and linked to the adjoining fine arts complex. The museum itself includes 6 exhibition galleries, including interactive spaces and an art lab, which has hands-on art-making space for students of all ages. There's also 2 sculpture gardens, one of them which we're walking through right now, that serves as both an academic facility for the university and for the general community at large. There's about 6,000 objects inside the museum, including paintings, prints, drawings, sculptures, photographs, decorative arts, with a particular strength in art from the state of Kansas. The LLC, or Living Learning Center, opened in 2001 as part of Washburn's strategic expansion of residential student housing. It supports about 400 students in the residential wing, all living in a suite-style living situation, which include either four-person or two-person bedroom floor plans. The building itself features 8 different wings, with each wing having its own study room and kitchenette. The idea for the Memorial Union emerged in 1946 when the campus and Shawnee County community sought to create a living memorial to those from Washburn and the country who served and in many cases sacrificed their lives in World Wars I and II and the Korean War. The building itself opened in 1951. The Union is described by the university as the center of campus life, and it's often called the living room of the campus on the campus because it provides places for students to relax, meet, eat, study, and engage outside the classroom. Ahead of us is the Garvey Finance Center. The Fine Arts Center itself was planned in the early 1960s as the school sought to build a modern facility for music, theater, and other arts. The building that became the Fine Arts Center was completed and dedicated in October of 1968. In 1975, the building was officially named the Garvey Fine Arts Center in honor of the Garvey family, especially Olivia White Garvey and her husband for their significant support of the arts at Washburn. Inside, the center houses several major arts units, including the departments of music and theater, the art department, and the Mulvane Art Museum itself. Ahead of us, the round building that we see is a theater named for Georgia Niece Clark Gray, who was an alumna of Washburn and later became the 29th Treasurer of the United States. The theater has a thrust stage design, meaning the audience wraps around 3 sides of the stage, which is a more intimate, immersive format compared to a stage that just sticks out that the audience sees. There's about 330 seats in the theater. Morgan Hall opened in 1956 as part of Washburn's growth in the post-war era. The building is named after Margaret Mulvane Morgan, daughter of Joab R. Mulvane from the Mulvane Art Museum that we saw earlier. In the aftermath of that 1966 tornado that swept across campus, Morgan Hall incurred significant damage, but like many others, it was rebuilt and renovated, especially a major renovation in 2015. Today, Morgan Hall serves as a central administrative and student services building here at Washburn. It houses key offices like admissions, financial aid, academic advising, student health and life services, and much more. The College of Arts and Sciences building serves as one of the principal academic buildings for the College of Arts and Sciences. Inside are faculty offices, student labs, advising spaces, and places for collaborative learning. Benton Hall was completed in 1923, and at that time it was one of the major buildings on campus. Initially, it served as an all women's dormitory for many years and later transitioned to co ed style housing. Over the years, it has served mainly as a residential building, and in the early 1990s, it was converted to office space. Recently, the building has been slated for demolition, and a new building will be going up to replace Benton Hall. Carroll Chapel was originally built in 1996 on the campus of the former Menninger Foundation, which was a psychiatric clinic here in northwest Topeka. When the Menninger Foundation relocated to Houston in 2003, the Menninger site donated this chapel to Washburn University. Thanks to the efforts of alumna Carol Bloomfield Etzel and her husband, the chapel was moved here and dedicated in December of 2004. The 1,500 square foot chapel, nestled among Scotch and Austrian pine trees, is a place for quiet meditation, quiet reflection, and special events like weddings, recitals, and other campus gatherings. Advisors Excel Hall that we see originally opened as the Henderson Learning Resource Center in 1971. At the time of its opening, it was the largest academic building on campus. It was designed with large lecture halls and meant to accommodate the teaching methods of that era, for example, stadium style lecture rooms. Over the decades, it has housed many of Washburn's key academics. In early 2025, the university officially announced that the building will be renamed Advisors Excel Hall thanks to a major lead gift by the company Advisors Excel. The renovation is set to occur within 2025, and the building itself will be reopened in a few years and will house such things as the School of Business, Social Sciences departments, and many departments of the College of Arts and Sciences. The School of Applied Studies was established in 1983 to provide professional-oriented programs in the areas such as allied health, criminal justice, legal studies, family and human services, and social work. The building that we see in front of us houses such programs as criminal justice and legal studies, social work, and much more. The building supports kind of a hands-on learning environment, which is central to SAS's identity. We're now walking past Yeager Stadium. The stadium originally opened in September of 1928 and was known as Moore's Bowl. The Moore's Bowl was built into a natural depression just south here of campus. It used the terrain to form the seating of the bowl itself. The stadium was named in honor of George Godfrey Moore, a Topeka sports enthusiast and supporter of Washburn. Over the years, the stadium has seen many upgrades, including a new press box and suites in 2002, a new field surface in 2006, and a larger video display board in 2014. This is where the Ichabods play football. It's also the home of women's and men's soccer programs. The bells housed in the Kuhn Bell Tower originally hung in the clock tower of the Thomas Gymnasium, a facility that was destroyed in the major tornado of 1966. After the tornado, the bells survived, and the university sought a way to preserve them as a piece of the campus heritage. With a donation from Fred Kuhn and his wife Julia, a concrete bell tower structure was constructed in 1971. The tower itself displays a quartet of ringing bells that can be heard throughout campus. Ahead of us is Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall began life as the Carnegie Library, built with a gift from philanthropist Andrew Carnegie. The building itself was completed in 1905. It is recognized as the oldest surviving building here on the Washburn campus. After serving as the campus library for many decades, Carnegie Hall was repurposed to house other academic units, for example, the law school at one point and later the education department. The building itself is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In front of Carnegie Hall is this statue of Senator Robert Joseph Dole. Dole was born in 1923 in Russell, Kansas, and served in World War II. He then went on to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1961 to 1969 and as a U.S. Senator from 1969 to 1996. He was Senate Majority Leader for many of those years and a vice presidential nominee alongside Gerald Ford in 1976. Dole himself had a long-standing relationship with Washburn. He attended Washburn briefly after World War II on the GI Bill before completing his law degree at the University of Arizona. The university here itself commemorated Dole's contributions in Kansas for and in his national politics. Whiting Fieldhouse was built in 1928 and is one of the older athletic buildings here on the Washburn campus. It was named for Albie J. Whiting, a member of the University Board of Trustees who died the same year the building opened. In its early years, Whiting served as the home court for the university men's basketball and women's basketball volleyball teams until those sports moved into a newer facility called Lee Arena, which we'll see here in just a little bit. Today, Whiting Hall Fieldhouse functions primarily as a student athlete training facility. The court level was converted into a large 12,500 square foot weight and conditioning center. Here on our right is the Petro Allied Health Center, which was established as a major physical education, athletic, and allied health facility on Washburn's campus. The building opened in 1983 with a gift from Kelsey Petro. Over time, the building has been updated and expanded various times, and it serves not only as a place for student recreation and athletics, but also allied health instruction, laboratory space, and community wellness programs. Lee Arena opened in 1984 as part of the larger Petro Allied Health Center complex. The arena is named after Bob Lee, a former Washburn baseball player and coach. Lee Arena was among the first facilities in the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics program to feature a video scoreboard and a digital scorer's table. Lee Arena is home court for Washburn's men and women's basketball teams as well as women's volleyball. Ahead of us is the KBI Forensic Science Center, which opened in 2013 and is a collaboration with the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, Washburn University, and the City of Topeka Public Building Commission. The building is about 100,000 square feet, and inside are programs related for students to learn such things as crime scene investigation and processing. There's also an outdoor laboratory and dig site for forensic anthropology work, and inside are labs for things like digital forensics, forensics anthropology, forensics chemical science, and forensics investigation. On our right is the Kansas Beta chapter of Phi Delta Theta. It was founded here on campus in October of 1910. The building itself that houses the fraternity was constructed in 1927. The house serves as on-campus living space for members of the chapter with rooms for about 22 Washburn students. Ahead of us is Lincoln Hall, which opened in 2016 as a new residence hall for Washburn University. The building was designed as part of a campus master plan to update and provide modern suite-style student housing and to help form a new campus quad area here on this side of campus. The building itself is able to house about 350 students in 2, 4, and 6-person units. There's also a connected dining room called Lincoln Dining that offers an all-you-can-eat meal service and is integrated into the residential living experience. Construction on Stouffer Science Hall began in 1959 and the building was completed and ready for student use in September of 1960. The building was named in honor of Brian S. Stouffer, who served as president of Washburn University from 1942 to 1961. The hall itself has been designed to house the university's core science departments, including biology, chemistry, physics, astronomy, and home economics. On top of the building itself is an observatory and planetarium that was transferred from an older campus observatory. The Bennett Computer Center opened in 1988. It was a part of a construction of a new wave of campus facilities that followed that destructive 1966 tornado. The Bennett Computer Center serves as the primary computing, information technology, and academic computing facility here on campus. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder tour here on the campus of Washburn University and maybe learned a little bit about the campus itself. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and we will see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.